Women. I'm with y'all, so I'm not gonna get in the middle with you with nothing.
That's all I'm saying.
You tripping right now.
I'm not tripping. Then why you sitting here then?
Hey guys, and welcome back to Little Black Book. For those of you who are new to the channel, make sure you like, share, subscribe. For those who are returnees, you ain't got the what? Minerals, baby. Are you mad? Are you mad? Are you lean? Listen. Woo! Chile. Freaking-lay. Say it with me. Chile. Why am I saying Chile? Because it's hot in here tonight, baby. We're going to be talking to you guys about Chica, and I'm going to be breaking it down, actually, what happened, because something interesting that I didn't really clock when I first watched it. I had to watch it 3 or 4 times, and I clocked something, and I was like, rah, this is mad. All right.
Into the conversation. You was over there with Darian. That's what you was doing. Man, go check him.
Let's get into the video. The video. Yes, a video. Yes. First thing I wanted to drop is, obviously, in that particular video, is the fact that, obviously, Chica actually goes over to, overhears Kerry talking about the fact that there was a little altercation between Tondi and Nina. Okay, so Chica wasn't there at the event. He just know
Something that happened on a group date between Tondi and Nina. Y'all ain't talked all night. You haven't. You ain't talked all night.
Okay.
So can we squash it? We grown. That's just the bottom line. So if you got beef, I feel like, you should be able to squash it.
It overhears a conversation, yeah? And obviously he's seen Nina in the corner, and Nina's not really being responsive. And then obviously overhears this particular rumor that's going on about how they two fell out. So he decides to go over to Nina and speak to her and see, like, you're not really talking all night. What's going on? He does obviously clock that Nina and Tondi are not talking. He goes over to find Tondi, brings Tondi over, you know what I'm saying? Because he said, obviously, and look, he took it upon himself. You have to understand this. Number one, he took it upon himself, yeah? He appointed himself chief for being the person who is going to bring a reconciliation between two people. I don't know if you've ever heard a term that some people add fuel to fire rather than quenching the fire. Chica added fuel to the fire because he decided that he wanted to be involved a little bit too much. Now let's break it down. The first thing I noticed was the fact that, okay, he went, pulled over Tondi, got her over to Nina, then decided to sit in the middle of the two of them. Now, listen, I get it, yeah? I get it, you're trying to mend the two of them together. Okay, so the first part, I can deep it. My man's talking to both people and saying, listen, I don't think she did it on purpose, blah, 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 blah. He's mediating, yeah? At that point, when they started talking, he should have got up and left, because it had nothing to do with him. But when you don't get up and leave, you are inserting yourself into the equation. And the reason why I believe that he inserted himself into the equation is partly, Chica probably might watch this, my honest opinion is that, listen, sometimes we think we're doing a great job, and actually we're not really doing the job we need to do, yeah? And sometimes we have an attitude that actually part of our ego wants to be praised. We want to be praised for being the person that can bring people together, that does good things, right? But in this situation, the good thing to do was to step out. But he decides to sit in the middle. Not only sit in the middle, he's actually blocking the line of communication. You're actually in the way. Do you know what I'm saying? So if there's meant to be effective communication between two people where there's got to be a visual, then why would you sit in the middle? Do you understand? Except that you wanted almost, I'm not saying that he wanted the two to fight or anything like that, but what I'm saying is he wanted to be in the middle of it. Part of his mind must have been thinking, you know what, it may not be necessarily conscious, but the subconscious ends up being conscious, in the sense of that I think he wanted to have a bit of glory. You know what I'm saying? In the sense of he wanted to be able to be the one that they would praise at the end by saying, oh, look what Chica done. He's brought 2 girls together. But unfortunately, by doing that, he's got in the way. You understand? The actual catalyst for where this goes wrong is not just the fact that Chica's sitting in the middle, okay? Where it actually starts to go wrong is when another guy gets involved. Now, I need to understand something. When it comes to males, sometimes the way that certain males behave, yeah, becomes, I don't want to say tribalistic, but we become, like, we play off each other, yeah? And that's what Chica did. Now, Chica, obviously, in London, obviously, may have a good kind of rapport, because we saw that earlier on when he swapped over with London, and London didn't really feel a wave when he was asked by Chica to swap over. So they might have a good rapport in the sense, obviously, divine. How much of a rapport? You know what? Certain people rub off more on other people. Yeah? So someone like Chica, yeah, is being robbed on by London, not the other way around. I'll tell you why. When London comes over, yeah, and he's standing behind them, and Ashima's also there as well. London comes over and starts giggling. At that point, Chica should have said, "Nah, bruh, chill, man. They're not trying to do their thing." But he then joins in with London's behavior. Listen, he's joining in with London's behavior. He's not starting it because he was cool before. He's joining in the laughter and the banter with London, because London's the one that's leading. Remember, I've been telling you guys about London's alpha male behavior. He's got natural leadership qualities. The size of him, how he's a lad, people will naturally follow his route. Yeah, I've seen this in school. Yeah, some people, they cartel to certain people's behaviors, and if you're not strong in yourself, if you don't realize that, listen, sometimes there's a time and a season for this type of behavior, you end up following what Chica did. Now, London's busting joke, and he lifts his head to look up, and he's busting the joke back. And at that point, I don't know if it was, I don't know who was, one of the girls might have looked at him or whatever, or told him to be quiet a little bit. Do you get me? And he goes, I calls it, alright? Then, see, London's not done with the team, because look, the whole point of this is that London has caused more of a ruckus than Chica has done. Chica just ended it, and Chica got played, and he didn't realize it got played. London shifts his position from behind them to move to the side of Tondi. Listen, this is meant to be a serious conversation, you know. A very serious conversation between two women, yeah? I'm not trying to say there's any chauvinism in here, but what I'm saying is that when sometimes men can get involved with females' businesses and treat it as being less important. Now, I'm not saying that's what they were immediately thinking, but by the words of Chica himself, it would have never got done if the men weren't involved. Now, that's a problem for me. Yeah, because that gets me thinking that you think because you're a man that you had a legal right, or if it hadn't been for a man, this wouldn't have been happening. It was meant to be a girls' chat. You organised it, Chica. I'm even going ahead. I'm going too far. Let me pause that. London comes round, okay, and gets involved with Tondi, yeah, by putting her hair on his head. Now, he might have been a little bit tipsy, whatever, regardless. He's not taking the conversation seriously. And then he asks the question, can we squash this? Well, can we squash this while we're at... And that's why Nina gets a little bit frustrated. We are trying to squash it. But London, you're getting annoyed. Now, what's interesting is the way that Nina and Tondi react. Yeah? Because it's also a quite telling way of seeing how people also behave in a group, number one, under pressure, and number three, how they actually are. Because Nina's quite an emotional person, you understand? So what she does is she reacts to London's misbehavior and actually gets emotional and saying, yes, we are, that's what we're trying to do.
Hey, what is it going to take for y'all to squash it?
But that's what we're talking now. Like, this not your process here. I've never...
Do you understand? So she takes that tone, but watch Tondi. Tondi's not moving, cuz. Why? Because Tondi's got a train of focus. When she gets into a zone of focus, because she's got the fighter mode, right? The fighter mode gets into a zone where he's in fight mode, there's nothing taking him out. Now, you saw this behavior also on the tram, when they were doing the cycle or whatever. When she was talking to Nina and having an argument, when Mario was reaching his hand over, she was nowhere to be found. She wasn't listening. Tondi was in her train of thought, her zone. She didn't want to hear nothing else. So when London's playing for hair, she doesn't even flinch because she's got a fighter's mode. She knows how to focus in that season. And she's not overly emotional. Nina is overly emotional. When I say overly emotional, I don't mean in a negative way. I mean in the sense of certain things affect her to draw out her emotions, yeah? And she can't control it as such. So when she doesn't control it, she naturally reacts, which is what we saw earlier on with her and Tondi. And then we see it here now that she kind of flares out a little bit at London. And London by saying, that's what we're trying to sort out now. And she's frustrated because they were trying to sort it out now, but people are taking a pick. You know what I'm saying? They're taking a pick, cuz that's what London's doing. So I want you to pay attention because London's behavior is actually catalytic to what is going to happen with Chica. Yeah? Very much catalytic because who's playing right now? It's not Chica. Chica's busting joke though, and another thing. Chica and London are busting joke across the conversation, which then again is in the line of thought of Tondi. But watch how Tondi's not getting involved. Tondi's still sticking to her train of thought. But it's annoying Nina. Yeah, because these two are not taking it seriously. But watch Ashima's behavior as well. She's clocking the disruption that these two are bringing to the conversation. It could be a productive conversation for the females, but these two are going to cause a disruption enough that they won't allow for a productive conversation. Cool. And added to that as well, because Chika did not vacate himself from the equation, yeah? It's like, I don't know how to explain this. When we were in school, certain guys had a certain way with certain females, yeah? That even when they were misbehaving, yeah? If me and other guy were misbehaving, because I have a lower social value towards these girls, yeah? They would treat me as the one that was messing up more. Because they can't tell off London. And this is the exact same thing that happens to London. He's got a higher perceived social value amongst the women and a higher respectability than Chika, yeah? And this is proven by what happens to Chika, yeah? And what he does after this. After this, when he gets exploded, he goes and stands by the bar, but notice he doesn't stand next to anybody else. He stands by his own self, yeah? Whereas London just dips off. Cool. So watch it. Now, Chika should have left. He doesn't leave. He's now bantering with London, yeah? The next thing that happens. So now what happens is, as Chika and London are busting jokes, Ashima again is clocking on. So she shows her how she's clocking on by lifting her hands at these two. Like, she's like, what's going on? She directs it first at Chika, but then she directs it also at London after, yeah? And as she's doing that, she's letting them know that, like, what are these two doing? Like, they're not part of the conversation. Like, they're not helping the conversation. Do you get me? Meanwhile, Chika's still standing in the middle of the conversation. Why is he still there? You get me? Why are you still there? You should have moved. You've done your job, brought them together. Now you two talk it out. Let's leave you to it. Do you get me? But when you stand in the middle, sit in the middle, you want the glory. Do you know what I'm saying? You want to be in the middle. You want to be seen as the one that was the one that brought peace. Do you get me? And it's like I said, obviously at first Ashima's watching him because it's like the kid. It's like the kid. You know when you're certain kids in school in classrooms were hyper visible. Yeah, they talk and everybody sees that they're talking. Teacher just instantly picks on them. Meanwhile, there were 5 other kids talking, but it's you that see. That's what's happened with Chika, because again, it is about lower perceived value. So Ashima directs her thing first at Chika because he's of a lower perceived value. Yeah, so doesn't go for London because you can't just go at London because he's treated us like an alpha male. You don't just go at an alpha male like that unless you have reason, considerable reason to. You know what I'm saying? And you're ready for war. So then obviously Ashima then calls out Chika for being there, yeah? He calls out Chika for actually being there. Because at one point, my man's actually folded his arms as well. And it's like, almost like he's enjoying the situation, do you get me? And I'm not saying that's what definitely he was doing, but it looked like that. Like, my man's enjoying being in the middle as a mediator. And we didn't need a mediator. And then, so what happens is, Ashima actually calls him out. Now, she's obviously saying that this is a girl's side, we don't really need you. Now, the reaction by Chika, I believe, magnifies, number one, because of who said it. Remember?
Get out. We don't need no man to jump in no women.
Up with y'all, so I'm not gonna get in the middle with you with nothing.
That's all I'm saying.
You tripping right now.
I'm not tripping. Then why you sitting here then?
I've been sitting here. You came to the conversation. You was over there with Darian. That's what you was doing.
Talking to.
Man, go check your dude. You was not over here with us.
Talking about the perceived value here. He wouldn't have blown up if this was Tondi telling him, listen, stop, man. Allow it. You understand? We're trying to talk. He would have been like, alright, cool, right? Because of the respect that one may feel towards a person. But because it's Ashima, she's not the buffest girl in the group. She's the funny girl. She's not the one that everyone perceives as a high value. So the way that he talks to her lets me know that the value that he places on her. Now, we know that because of what he says. The guy actually goes and says something about a comment about making it about the fact that you were over there with your boy, which is talking about Darren, yeah? Because remember, Darren also is not a higher perceived value male. So the way he said that bar was actually a boyish to Ashima, but it's also a boyish to Darren too. Because you just outed the fact that you don't think he's a higher perceived male, right? That's why you're saying go back to your boy or whatever he said or whatever that was rude, yeah? That comment lets you know what he perceives of Darren. Could you have said that if that person was from London? No, he wouldn't have. Because again, it's about the perceived value of the individual and what we think of that other person. Do you get me? So both Darren and Ashima are not high value players, and so therefore the comment was directed at the fact that he knew they're not high value players. You see, I told you, London is the problem here. Yeah, he's done his job and now he's done. So now London's played around and Chica's got the blame, but actually it was London instigating a lot of things. So what happens is now London as he hears an argument, he stands up, yeah, and then he actually starts he's laughing, cracking jokes. He's actually egging on Chica's madness, yeah. Instead of saying like, "Nah, Chica, calm down, man, allow it, man," he doesn't. He actually eggs him on. And as boys, you should know something about men. When you get another boy, kind of like, "Yeah, bro, you're doing your thing, do your thing," it gasses you up to do more, even though you know what you're doing is wrong, right? Now, Chica had no reason to flip at Ashima like that, no reason, yeah. But he's got another guy in there who's also giving him energy, yeah, giving him a reason that he can do it. Do you get me? Because if there's been the girls addressing him, he might not have been so loud. Do you know what I'm saying? If it was all girls addressing him and it wasn't Ashima addressing him, he might not have been so loud. Do you get me? So when they're going back and forth, I noticed something that at first Tondi was like, she put her arm on like put her arm on Chica to say like, allow it, like it's okay, like just let it, it's okay, you can let it go. But then it turns and he says something about her and about Darren, and watch her face then shows, okay, I'm not backing that, Chica, I'm not backing that I'm not backing, because now you're being rude. Do you understand? So she changes allegiance at that point in terms of who she supported. At first she was like, okay, look, cool, calm it down. Next week she was like, no, don't like that, stop that right away. That was what her face was saying, yeah? So that was interesting as well, to watch her face flip and change. But yeah, just watching London, as Chica gets up, watch what London does. He puts his elbow into Chica, hey, again, egging him on, that bravado, yeah, that boys club behaviour, yeah. Even though, and listen, what came onto London? Nothing. Even though London was playing with the hair, making the jokes with Chica, he's also just as bad. But it's Chica's gonna get the blow. Why? One, because obviously Chica opened his mouth, but two, also because at that point London knew how to exit the process. Man stood up, got up, and he was no longer really part of the process at that point. But Chica, instead of getting up and leaving, felt embarrassed by the fact that it's why you still, and by Ashima's comment, why are you still here then? It's a girl's talk, yeah? And it makes him look weak. It makes Chica look weak. Notice that comment wasn't directed at London. It was directed at Chica. Even though London got himself involved and said, obviously, can you let it go? Do you get what I'm saying? But because of the perceivement of value, here is important. See Darren's kind of reaction. Now, I know a lot of people wanted Darren to kind of react and get in the face of, or not even get in the face, but rather would have said something about, about what the behaviour they saw from, from Chica. But the situation, the way it came about, I feel like it potentially didn't lend itself for that. It was a quick interchange, and you have to kind of, I think maybe in that moment, you have to kind of clarify what Chica was actually aiming at when he's mentioning about Darren and obviously her. Now I know, because I'm listening to it and I'm perceiving what they're actually saying. So I know that he's actually throwing a shot at both Ashima and Darren and trying to say that they ain't really nothing like that. Do you know what I'm saying? They're not hot property. So go back to your kind of boy. Do you know what I mean? Like, but for Darren maybe hearing that first time, probably not thinking about that. Or two as well, he's probably thinking to himself, what's point of me getting involved? It doesn't end, I don't look more classy. Do you know what I'm saying? Plus it's a competition. I get involved and try to defend Ashima. I may get brownie points, but also I may throw mud on myself if I have to go on a back and forth with my man, and it may turn into fisticuffs. So you've got to think about the process and think to yourself, why would he not do it? He might have to think, he's probably thinking about a lot of different things. But not only that, he didn't really move off the bar. So does he really care for Ashima? Well, I think he does, but I think he just didn't, he's not probably not that type. He's not a type to get angst and aggy on that particular situation, because it was getting handled by Ashima. It's not like Ashima couldn't handle herself. You understand? So yeah, that was interesting. But I'm willing to take a different opinion on that, to be honest, because I understand that people might feel a certain way towards it. Do you get me? But just watch his eyes as Chica gets up. And it's interesting because obviously Darren just kind of trained him with his eye. Didn't really say anything, but just trained him with his eyes, looked at him. And those are the most dangerous people. You see, not everyone who has to jump up, get irate, get in your face are the ones you want to watch out for. It's the quiet ones who are plotting. You understand? So it was interesting because obviously, like when Chica obviously said what he said, he returned to the bar, but watch the gap between himself and Mike and Darren and Thing. They're not even listening to him. He's talking and he's talking in their direction, but they just focus their eye on this direction. They're not interested. They're not interested in backing what you're saying. Do you know what I'm saying? He was looking for an audience to back what he's saying, but there was none. So then he had to then end up doing what? Leaving. You get me? But not without saying one or two comments. Do you know what I'm saying? You know, and he insulted her as well. You know, go and tell one, two jokes or whatever. Da, da, da. And it's like, bro, why would you do that? Why did you get so annoyed about a situation? And I think it's because he got embarrassed. That's the truth. I think he got embarrassed when they tell him, obviously, you know what, like, why are you in girls' business? You know, it's almost like school, like, why are you in girls' business? You're a girl. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, that kind of, you know what I'm saying? But on a grander scale, when we get older, it's like someone, you know, checking your masculinity almost. You know how black males are as well, with that masculinity. It's very fragile. So to say that, obviously, you know, why are you here with the girls then? It's like, and then to get to react, kind of show his bravado, show his balls, show his testicles. He had to show it by cussing Ashima off. Do you know what I'm saying? And there was no need. Do you know what I'm saying? But like I said, nobody really paid attention to him, so he had to walk off. Where London went, I don't even know. But just know that obviously London was actually the instrumental piece in all of this. Had he not come over and bantered, yeah, this situation doesn't occur. Yeah? Because then Chica focuses on the conversation and tries not to be too much involved. But when he starts laughing and joking with London, that's it. Game over. Game over. You get me? So yeah, guys, that was my little review of that. I really believe that, you know, the next week's going to be very important. I guess obviously for me, I'm interested. I'm really interested to see what's going to happen with the Reva and the Kerry situation, because you can't start talking about sex and when someone replies serve, you then get a little bit humpy dumpy. No. It doesn't work like that, love. It doesn't work like that at all, love. So yeah, guys, make sure you like, share, subscribe. For those of you who are new, for those who are returnees, you ain't got the minerals, baby. All right, ready to love. Make sure you tune in for next week's episode. Appreciate you guys.